Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 340th episode of my series where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So yet again, it's time to close out another group of classics and personal favorites from the 2000s. But even amongst all these beloved, high profile releases I've covered for this set, you can make a pretty strong argument that I saved the very best for last, as today I'm discussing the epitome of a timeless, hip hop masterpiece that didn't quite get the proper treatment it deserved upon its release, which has somewhat relegated J Live's studio debut here to cult classic status, where it's become one of those if you know type situations where virtually anyone who is familiar with this MC and his work can sign off on how immaculate the output is, especially his first two LPs, which included The Best Part Here and his 2002 sophomore project, All of the Above. But honestly, J Live is just a rare case of an MC who never phones in a performance or verse. He's always giving 100%, and you can tell the dude puts a shitload of time, energy, and focus into his craft and sharpening his pen. Really, the only reason I haven't had him on the channel earlier, despite being the total package as an MC and artist, is I hadn't managed to get my hands on any of his work on vinyl until now. But while I heavily recommend literally every project I review, The Best Part is one where I genuinely implore you to give it a listen, because J Live effortlessly jumps from topic to topic, plus his smooth, classically New York flow and delivery provide a sturdy foundation for lyrics that range from insightful and personal to forward-thinking and topical. I can't say for sure, but one theory I have for why such an excellent piece of rap music may have sort of flown under the radar is the early 2000s was drifting further from the core boom-bap sounds that proliferated the 90s, and most of the music beginning to top the charts at the time wasn't especially conscious or political. That didn't stop countless artists from stepping up to the plate though, with rappers and groups like J Live, Dead Prez, Jurassic 5, Black Alicious, Talib Kweli, Dilated Peoples, and Edon, just to name a small selection, combating the more material and glitzy aspects of mainstream hip-hop and pointing out the flaws and negative implications of it without coming off as corny or overly preachy. J Live approaches this exact area in an extremely unique and creative way, where he actually ends up implementing a similar type of school theme that we would see Kanye use on The College Dropout and the rest of the trilogy. Except this was years before that, though it's also kind of reminiscent of what Masta Ace did on Disposable Arts, which came out the same year as this thing. But either way, we see those themes of education brought up multiple times on The Best Part through tracks like Schools In Remix and True School Anthem. However, it's really the former that touches on the disparity between whack MCs and talented ones, as we see J Live sort of embodying the role of a teacher in a hip-hop class who's giving us students a rundown on the culture and how to properly carry yourself on the mic. I should also mention the track Them That's Not, because it's almost like an early 2000s version of Rigor Mortis off Kendrick Lamar's Section 80, but maybe even more impressive, because this jazzy instrumental is constantly changing the tempo up every few lines or so, forcing Jay to swap through a pretty commendable bag of blows, and he consistently switches up alongside the beat without missing a step. It doesn't really matter what track you're listening to here, because this veteran has so much passion, confidence, and personality on the mic, and with how consistent the production is on The Best Part, that alone in itself would have probably been more than enough to make an enjoyable listen. But J Live goes above and beyond by crafting every verse meticulously, and in doing so, he displays a skill for writing that's years ahead of its time, and luckily I have the material here to back that up. I kind of picked an interesting song to share lyrics from, because the track I chose to go with is called Vampire Hunter J, and it's probably the most conceptual moment on the LP, with very metaphorical and clever lines about Black history that I'll leave you to interpret for yourself, but I will share the first verse to give you an idea of the high quality we're dealing with here. J Live kicks off this creative piece of writing with, "I'll let you know from the get-go, A little garlic and a cross won't stop this blood-suckingest, slave-makingest, hostage-takingest, sneakiest, continental rapist. Make no mistake in this. I'm not speaking on a fictional figment of folklore, but more like the type to provoke war, spreading lies to the poor, starting plagues with a cure. When opportunity knocks, he locks doors to. In short, outlasting prescribed expiration, the reign of the undead is self-preservation. He feeds off the lives of others, but not with fangs in your jugular. He uses the drugs and gun smugglers, leaving a trail of mindless zombies and childless mommies, protected by powerful armies as they guard the beast who hides by days, in a deep dark coffin that blocks the sun rays. Like I said before, I love the way this MC puts together and executes his rhyme schemes, as he always seems to find interesting and creative pockets, as well as flow patterns, and it's hard to believe how experienced and mature this thing feels for a debut. Impressively, there's only 2 guest appearances on this thing, including Asheru and Probe DMS, both of whom show up on the same track, which leaves J Live at the helm for the vast majority of this hour, 14-minute long experience. And you have to give a round of applause to the fact he's able to hold your attention so consistently, with nothing but his killer rhymes and dope beats. Speaking of which, when it comes to these top-tier instrumentals, Jay enlisted a super group of producers who completely showed out, and that roster was comprised of M.I. Alakiva, 88 Keys, Graplova, Chris Catalyst, Probe DMS, DJ Spinna, David Kennedy, Prince Paul, Pete Rock, and even DJ Premier. When it comes to my overall favorite tracks on this one, I'm gonna pass up Vampire Killer J this time around, and instead make the top 3 Them That's Not, Epilogue, and Don't Play, which definitely has the best instrumental on this LP in my opinion. As for my honorable mentions, you better believe there's still plenty of amazing moments worth checking out, including songs like Got What It Takes, Kick It to the Beat, Wax Paper, Timeless, Get the Third, School's In Remix, the title track, Raggin' Rights Revisited, and RAGE. Thank you for watching my 340th video. Next time we are starting off a brand new set of 90s classics, so tune in to see what I'm going to kick that group off with. And if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what moments spoke to you the most off this true gem of underground hip-hop. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Aight.